So we're back, and now we're going to be airbrushing our fish. So we're going to start off with, we have a pearl white, it's more pearl I guess, and we want to basically get our fish coated, and let's go ahead and do that. Our pressure is about 25 or around 20, 25. We're just basically covering the card first in a pearl. Always make sure your paint is mixed well. No matter if it's a base coat, full coat, whatever. Alright. So you can see we got our first coat on. First coat is on. We're gonna let it dry, come back, and then we'll see what we need to hit up on it. And if not, then we'll just keep on with other colors. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of the red violet. And what we're gonna do is that's gonna be the stripe that's gonna go alongside the fish itself. So you wanna make sure that you're not too crazy with it. Just a very light touch. So that kind of look to it. It'll fade it out more. And you can see the color. It really matches well with the silver. And this is just that one fine strip line that goes through. And then you add greens and yellows and maybe a little bit of brown just to, you know, get it to all blend together, right? Just makes sense. Let me know if what you think. I'm using this new lighting system. It's like one of those little round, people use them to vlog. I don't know if it has more light to me. I mean, you want to see my pretty face, don't you? I don't know if you can see better with it. Alright, so we're going to throw in some green. It's more of a, almost like a bright green. It's called a moat green. And that's going to go on top. And we're going to go to a transition of that to a little bit darker, okay? So now our air is very low, so we're like maybe at 15 psi. So I don't want this to just shoot out in big chunks. Remember, let me show you this in a minute. Good idea is to have one of these ladies' brushes, very soft, and after you airbrush, you let it sit for a couple minutes like we did, and then anything that's pooling, sometimes your airbrush spits out a little bit too much, you use one of these and you just damp it or you bring it across. Now you'll see the difference, how that makes. Now you're not going to get those big ugly chunks in there. Plus, you could use a little bit of it to sort of paint through, or you know, maybe to give the bottom, the belly, a little bit of a green tinge in places you need. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go with a darker green. Make sure we don't mess up any of this or keep fingerprints on it. It's also another reason I like doing that. I have a shaker. It's a lab shaker, and it helps get everything that's at the bottom, usually when it turns white from sitting, and it helps it really shake it up. You can see like it's vibrating my hand. Alright. And then you just give it a handshake, just to make sure. And we're just adding a little bit of this darker green, not much, just a couple of drops. The red is a little bit too much, but we still got to put dots in it, so we're not going to worry about it. So we're going to let this dry for a good hour, maybe less, depends what we're doing. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we picked our base out, what we wanted to use for our fish. We did it like this, or their fish is going to come here somewhere like that. and what we did was we kind of sanded it down. What I'd like to do is make some designs in it. So we got ourselves our saber tooth round. It looks like a big round ball. I thought I had my Kutzall one here, but maybe I didn't order one. I'm not sure. Anyway, who cares? It's all good. We're all gonna share. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna turn this on, and the vacuum. I'm gonna show the vacuum on, so you'll have to hear a little bit of it, but I'll go through some editing and stuff. And all I want to do is I want to punch some holes everywhere. So let's do it. So you can see that we did a little bit of design there. Nothing crazy, just something to be different. And we put holes all over it. Now, what we're gonna do next is take our sander. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. I didn't sand it down yet, but what I wanted to show you, because I forgot to do it first, was not only did we put holes with our, saber tooth, what I wanted to do is also take the other saber tooth burr that I have. Fortunately, Kutzall, I don't have these kind of burrs, so I can't use what I don't have, right? Straighten that out. So I wanted to give that realistic look of holes. I don't know if I can see that. The holes going in. So using just this, all I'm gonna do is poke every hole that I made, just poke a little hole. I'm gonna show you that. It takes forever, and I just wanted to explain to you. That's what I'm doing, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right. So I'm using this burr, and it's the ones that we always make our eyes with. So all I'm doing is just going in. Just without the vacuum on, and I'm just punching some everywhere, just to give it a different look. Go ahead and do that all the way through. Then go ahead and do this all the way through for the rest of it, and that's the look we're gonna get. So, and I'm just basically going on the top of it too, like scoring it a bit. Yeah, I know I sanded and all that, but I wanted to make sure that I get a bit of. All right, stay tuned. Hey guys, so my big hand in the way. Here we are, finishing up our Trout carving. So our next step is to put our epoxy on, and then these holes, like, yes, I did put a lot of holes in them, but I'm also going to be adding some greenage to here so that it kind of makes it look like it's at the bottom of the lake or something like that. Either way, so let me set this up and again show you what I do when I epoxy. All right, so pretty simple. Take your resin, and this is your hardener. Now make sure you mix them well, up and down, that's all I do. You want equal amounts. So this is a pee-pee cup. I get these from work. We're gonna go with, it has the 20 mark in the 1 ounces, so we're gonna go at the 20, which is the milliliters. We're gonna do 20 and then 20 of hardener, 20 of resin. Doesn't matter again which one you put in first. Okay, just make sure you put in pretty damn close to equal. Hard to see in the dark here or whatever. That's pretty good there. And then I'm going to do at least 20 of this, which is there. All right. Okay. Very important, guys and girls and whoever else is watching. Wipe your fucking tops. This stuff is not brain surgery. Wipe them up. Put them back on. We're using the pour-on that we use from Michaels. Oops, here we go. It's an easy product to use. It does take time to cure. It's not like an instant hardening, a 5-minute epoxy. It takes at least a little bit of time, 24 hours, I'd say. Very simple to use, like I said. So we're doing 2 pieces, so always have enough of your clean brushes. I don't recommend using these at the best of times. The dollar store ones, they break too easy, but I can figure that out. Get yourself something to stir with. Make sure you stir this. I'm gonna come back. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes of stirring. You have to make sure this stuff is stirred properly. All right, make sure this stuff is stirred properly. I said properly last one, so make sure it's properly stirred. Okay, you want that really milky kind of consistency. That's why it's about 2 to 3 minutes to stir. Guys, if you think that's too much and it's hard on your arms, guess what? Don't do it then. But it has to be done this way. Get your nice gloves, your cute gloves on. That's these guys. I got some pink ones, breast cancer gloves. Then what you want to do, once you got that right mixture, which I'm there, is we're gonna just get it off of here, and then I'm just gonna wipe it off on this. All right, now the reason I'm using a little brush is because I want to get into the crayfish just as much as I want to get it on the fish. All right, so because I want this guy to be solid. If you accidentally bump it, you know, it shouldn't break off. It may, but it shouldn't. It's just a, you know, precautious kind of thing. Be cautious about what you're doing. This, again, I told you this was the crayfish is 3D printed. It's not carved. I could have carved it. I had no problem. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna add something different with my carving. All right, and that's what I did. Is I added a crawfish and I incorporated my 3D printing with it. Doesn't make it any different. Some people go, oh, well, that's cheating, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Fuck off. It's cheating. So what? I'm not making $1 million. You don't see my name on this. You don't see me being rich off it. So I'm just doing this for me and for you. All right. So plus the extra resin in there helps it stay in the mouth. And there. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm using is just a little peg, and what I want to do is I want to dip it into the resin just enough, and then put it into its hole right where I put it as high as I wanted, because you know it's going to come out, and that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm using the little brush so that I can get into these littler spots too, so where the gills are, whatever. You won't see this honestly because it will be under the whole casing, but you know what, if you're gonna do it, might as well do it right. Do it all. Plus with the little brush I can get behind the gills, gills, behind the fins a little bit better. You know, just helps out a little bit more. All right, now you remember, like, I don't know if you've watched my other videos, but I've always said don't glop this stuff on where there's, you know, it's so thick. The thicker you put this stuff on, the longer it takes to dry. The problem with it too is, again, I think I've said this a million times in the videos, watch them if you have to, but gravity pulls everything down. So if you're putting this a certain way, this stuff wants to run. It just wants to come down. And it's just the way it is. It's a heavy liquid, and it's, you know, but it works. I like it, you know. I know there's a lot of you out there that will try this sort of form. I say go for it. It just helps. And again, with the epoxy, it strengthens your carving. So, and also what I like about it, especially if you're doing the fish more than anything, when I put epoxy on it, it makes it look wet. And you know what? Fish are wet. Fucking guess that one, eh? So you want to put something that some people they spray, which is fine. They'll spray stuff on, like a sealer, you know, whatever. Like give it that glossier look. That's cool. I use epoxy. That's my shtick. Like it or not, that's my shtick, guys. You know that. I'm not gonna say any different. It's what I do. So, you're all crooked. So when we finished with putting our epoxy on, it looks like this. It's all wet. And what we did was we have our own flocking. Flocking is basically, you know, an item you'd use to make, just to give it more of a different look, our piece. So this is actually really wet. What we're going to do is we're going to use some of these things, and we get this from dollar store, and it's just like moss and grass and whatever you want to use. We did put epoxy on the bottom and all the way to the top, all over it. So what I have here, and this is just the way I do things, is I have some screws and wires going back and forth, so you can see that it's sitting, you know, about half an inch off of it, which is, you know, it makes it so the air can go under it and breathe. And I guess another thing we could have done, and it'll still work, is if you took some wood glue, right? Put some wood glue, you know, just dab some on your table, whatever you got messed up there, and just run, you know, a good dollop of it on your piece, and you know that the wood glue will dry clear, so we're not going to over worry about that. We just want to make sure we get the coverage that we want on our piece. Okay, all right, so this is what we got going on. Our fish is going to dry. You can see there's little spills on it, little pieces that we always got to keep an eye on. That we'll be taking those off. And then we got the rest of our piece going on here, and we're gonna let that sit. So we're gonna stop at this, and we're gonna say it's finished, but tomorrow we will show a quick video of it all together, ready to be, you know, placed. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, come on down. If I can do it, you can do it. Did I just say that? Choose your own path. All right. Have a great day. Goodbye.